Today, he's a multi-billionaire tech visionary revolutionizing electric vehicles, space exploration, and neural technology. But before Elon Musk was famous, he was a severely bullied South African schoolboy who spent 2 weeks in the hospital after a brutal attack, taught himself programming at age 10, and has Asperger's syndrome, a neurological condition he didn't publicly reveal until appearing on Saturday Night Live. His original video game, Blastar, created at age 12, is still playable online today, and he later taught himself rocket science by reading textbooks while sleeping on Tesla factory floors during production crises. From bullied outsider to revolutionary innovator, this is the extraordinary story of Elon Musk. Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, during the height of apartheid, a system he would later reject by leaving the country. His mother, May, was a model and dietitian, while his father, Errol, was an engineer with whom Elon would develop a complicated, often troubled relationship. From his earliest years, Elon displayed characteristics that made him a target in South Africa's often brutal school environment. He was intensely thoughtful, becoming so absorbed in his thoughts that family members had to shout to get his attention, traits now understood as part of his Asperger's syndrome. Young Elon developed an extraordinary reading habit, consuming up to 10 hours daily. "I was raised by books," he would later explain, "books, and then my parents." This autodidactic approach became the foundation of his later self-education in physics and engineering. When his father brought home a Commodore VIC-20 computer in 1981, 10-year-old Elon was immediately captivated. He taught himself programming using only the manual, demonstrating the obsessive self-education that would characterize his entire career. By age 12, Elon had created Blastar, a space-themed video game that he sold to PC and Office Technology magazine for approximately $500. What's remarkable is that this game's original code still exists and remains playable online today. Tangible proof of his early technical abilities. This wasn't just childhood tinkering, it demonstrated the first principles thinking that would later revolutionize multiple industries. Rather than accepting limitations, young Elon was already engineering solutions to problems others couldn't see. At 17, knowing his mother had Canadian citizenship, Elon left South Africa partly to avoid mandatory military service that would require enforcing apartheid policies he opposed. He arrived in Canada with minimal money and no clear prospects. His survival period was brutal. Living on just $1 a day for food, he bought hot dogs and oranges in bulk. To support himself, he took physically demanding jobs his privileged upbringing hadn't prepared him for, cleaning boiler rooms, cutting logs with chainsaws, working on farms. These experiences of near poverty and physical labor provided crucial perspective that most tech entrepreneurs never acquire. The boy who once lived comfortably was learning survival skills that would later help him endure the near bankruptcy of both SpaceX and Tesla. After selling PayPal, Elon made an extraordinary career pivot, deciding to build rockets despite having no aerospace background. His solution was pure autodidacticism. He taught himself rocket science by reading textbooks and consulting with aerospace engineers. His self-education methodology was systematic and obsessive. He would study fundamental physics texts, then seek out experts to fill knowledge gaps, treating rocket science as an engineering problem rather than an impossibly complex mystery. This approach reflected his Asperger's influenced thinking patterns, breaking complex problems into fundamental components rather than accepting conventional wisdom about what's possible or impossible. During Tesla's production hell, the crisis period when the company nearly failed to manufacture vehicles at scale, Elon made an unprecedented executive decision. He moved into the factory, literally sleeping on the production floor to directly oversee operations. This wasn't symbolic leadership, it was hands-on problem-solving born from his childhood experience of having no safety net. Just as he once survived on $1 a day, he was willing to sacrifice personal comfort for company survival. His approach mystified traditional business leaders, but reflected his neurological makeup. Rather than managing through reports and meetings, his Asperger's influenced thinking required direct, first-hand observation of problems and solutions. Elon Musk's revelation of his Asperger's syndrome on Saturday Night Live provided context for his entire career trajectory. What many saw as eccentricity was actually neurological difference that became competitive advantage. His first principles thinking, reasoning from fundamental physics rather than analogy or convention, directly reflects how Asperger's affects information processing. This neurological difference enabled him to see possibilities in electric vehicles and space travel that others missed. The same social challenges that made him a bullying target in school became advantages in business. His willingness to ignore conventional wisdom, his obsessive focus on technical details, and his indifference to social expectations about what entrepreneurs should attempt. From a hospitalized bullying victim to the world's richest person, Elon's journey demonstrates how neurological differences and childhood trauma can be transformed into revolutionary innovation when combined with extraordinary self-education and willingness to risk everything. His story proves that sometimes our greatest perceived limitations, social awkwardness, obsessive interests, unconventional thinking, can become our most powerful strengths when channeled towards solving humanity's biggest challenges. If you want to discover more surprising celebrity origin stories, hit subscribe and let us know which star you want to see featured next on Before They Were Famous.